Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Events of the Week, a program that looks at stories we covered in the week. I'm Naomi Chisengela Mwanza. Democratic National Party DNP says it will ensure there is harsh treatment on people who have nurtured a habit of raping and defiling women and girls once it forms government in 2026. DNP explains that this will be achieved through ensuring that there will be no parole for any convict who will be doing time in correctional facilities due to them having committed murder, rape, or defiled people in the country. Sidin Chiaba is DNP president.
What we are saying as Democratic National Party, we are going to ensure that justice and the criminal court of this country is very harsh for cases like defilement, rape, where people should be, once they are jailed, it is for life, there will be no parole. So, certain crimes like defilement, rape, murder, abduction, ritualism, all these cases, any parole. The president is the one who is governing the country. I won't sign any parole. That someone comes out. And we are going to get cash in terms of life sentences or death sentences.
Senior Chief Mwamba of Kasama District has encouraged his village headmen to consider sanitation issues as priority. The traditional leader has noted with concern that some houses in his chiefdom do not have toilets. He said it is also disappointing that some of the village headmen are not bothered by the failure of their subjects not having toilets in their villages. The traditional leader has further advised the village headmen to ensure that a person puts up a toilet before constructing a house. The Board of Directors of the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA, has appointed Guntila Muleya, a former General Manager of MultiChoice Zambia, as its new Director General. Mr. Muleya takes over from Ms. Josephine Mapoma, who served in that position from the inception of IBA in 2013 up to 2023. IBA states that Mr. Muleya comes to the authority in the early stages of the implementation of its strategic plan, which emphasizes on the creation of a more enabling regulatory environment through digitalization and enhanced stakeholder management. This is contained in a statement availed to the media by Chikosola Chula, chairperson of the Board of Independent Broadcasting Authority. We'll now take a break. Stay tuned.
Worried of where you can sell your goods and services? Take heart. Advertise on Roots FM Radio Selling Point. Selling Point offers competitive prices in which you can market. What are you waiting for? Advertise your goods and services now, and you will never regret. Call the marketing line on 0977 124063, 0955 124063. Roots FM, your only traditional and cultural radio station.
Welcome back. This is Events of the Week, a program that looks at stories we covered in the week. Government has called on stakeholders to work together to avoid duplication in the implementation of programs fashioned at mitigating the impact of lead contamination in Kabwe. Munia Mwanakampwe, Central Province Permanent Secretary, says the issue of lead contamination can only be achieved when stakeholders avoid working in isolation. The Permanent Secretary said the lead screening equipment, which has been installed at Railway Clinic at a cost of $3 million, will go a long way in mitigating the impact of lead on human life. Habitants for Humanity Zambia Business Development and Partnership Manager Fred Nkole said the organization is currently working on a pilot program aimed at coming up with concrete solutions to the problem. The royal ministers from Lunda Lubanza Royal Establishment has expressed dismay over the increased number of health workers seeking transfers from the district. Royal Prime Minister Jonas Katumoya said the majority of newly recruited health workers have been transferred from Zambezi to urban areas, saying this status quo has left a critical shortage of health workers. Mr. Katumoya said the health sector is one of the priorities on the government developmental agenda, hence the recruitment of health workers to bridge the gap between patients and nurses is critical. He said a number of health facilities were grappling with inadequate human resources, but with the recruitment of health workers, it was a huge relief to the ministry. However, this was not the case with Zambezi. Recently, President Hakainde Hichilema pronounced that the new recruitment exercise his government will undertake for health workers should give priority to volunteers in Northwestern Province, and this has been received with mixed feelings. Here is Isaac Atikula with the report.
Recently, President Hakainde Hichilema directed that the new recruitment exercise for health workers and teachers in the country should give priority to volunteers in Northwestern Province. The head of state has since directed government officials who accompanied him on the tour of Northwestern Province to ensure that the focus on those already showing commitment should be given paramountance in the new recruitment program. Stakeholders across the country. Stakeholders have been digesting such directive by the Republican president. Roots FM Newsroom managed to get views on this critical matter from Democratic National Party President Sidin Chiava and Zambia Wake Up President Howard Kunda.
Our policy as Democratic National Party is a transparent process of recruiting people, whereby we recruit people through professional recruitment, where we advertise, then people are interviewed, then those who pass the interviews are shortlisted and are given the job through a formal and permeable process of job recruitment without favor, nepotism, tribalism, and appointment. So that is our process. So now is that we heard that there were some volunteers, especially in Lusaka when there was cholera, because they volunteered to help save lives. Those as DNP, we can support that they are integrated in formal work because they've got asked to work for others. However, since Northwest is not a cholera-prone area, and everyone should be subjected to formal process of recruitment, not selective, but all Zambians who come from 73 tribes should give an equal opportunity. Our position on issues to do with employment should not be just spelled out to a group of people. I think that it should be on merit. Whoever qualifies to become, for example, a nurse, a teacher, I think that we are all Zambians. What prescribes anyone to become an employee of government should be first of all a Zambian. So it doesn't matter whether they are volunteers or indeed any other person. But of course, that is for those who have been volunteering. That is, something that they have shown that they are capable and willing to work. So anyone who qualifies should be able to get an opportunity to be employed by government. It will not do for us to segregate that if you don't volunteer, therefore you are less Zambian. No.
Isaac Atukula, Mighty Roots FM News, Lusaka.
Thank you, Isaac, for that report. Finally, callers to the roots of the matter have been looking at Mr. John's life after his wife Matilda went an extra mile to establish whether her husband has a girlfriend or not. According to the program, a traditional doctor has helped Matilda and has obtained the girlfriend's underwear of her husband. As fate would have it, the third girlfriend has died, a situation that triggered fear in Mr. John's life. And Mr. Jones believes there is more than what it meets the eye in the action of Amai Matilda, his wife of 7 years, and has asked Mighty Roots FM callers for their advice. Mr. Christopher Piri, Mr. Andrew Tembo, and Mr. John Piri spoke to Chilenga Ngurube.
Jones chamene dziwa ine zolembedwa in black and white wamuna anapatsidwa danga lokonda wa mkazi koma kodipo tibwezera ife atumuna timafuna chiyani kwa mkazi amene ukhale ulemu ndiye pamene ulemu matayika mnyumba dziwani kuti ngakhale kagalu pa nyumba mmene ni manene kambiri ngati galu amene mumadyetsa inu akuwani mkafika pa nyumba dziwani kuti paneba apo nthawi zina paluwina lukafidinga loposa inu ndiye tsegulani maso chamene ngatengepo apa chakumakolo wa mkazi anakamba kuti iseyayu uyu mwana anapita kuzitsamba utanthauza kuti amchokamo ambiri amanena ngakhale baibulo imene manena kuti patukanani nawo anthu oipa kuti mngalandireko miliri anatanthauza chiyani ndiyeso mkwati mmenemu pamene mukwatira mkazi he who finds a wife finds a wonderful thing and obtains favor from the Almighty God. Kodi favor mwayi mkangano uli mnyumba mmenemu favor mwayi ingabwereni wakazi wotere kulibe zimene zingapezeke ndiye chakanga bakha khambiri tima tinkhuku singa meze
pankhani chikuoneka nchachikulu chifukwa kuti wina anafa koda anafa njira iti pali matsenga apa china tinena kuti prison yaikulu mchikwati ni kwa mwamuna ni kusowa mtendere mkati mwa nyumba nikadzifunsa kuti koda Jones anali na mtendere mkati mwa nyumba analibe nanga chatakhalire ni makazi yawo nchani chifukwa lokuti abwerere pa nyumba apo uja mtendere sudzaonekanso so a Jones icho chikwati palibe koma chokupemphani nchakuti wakhululukireni awo koma msakhale pamodzi chifukwa chakuti mkakhala pamodzi muluonana awo akupatseni chikondi chakumpeni kumphasa adzakuphani izo zane muluganizira kuti mwina mkapeza injini kulibe nzoonadi because mkakhala pamodzi azifunaso ina njira kuti akugonjesere moni imwe onani makolo anu naonso anakhala pansi naona kuti zinthu sizili bwino nchifukwa chake mabwera kuna ku khoti ya Roots Radio ndipo isa khoti Roots Radio tifuna kuteteza umoyo wanu inu ni umoyo wa akazi wanu mwina na mweso mukaluzinga tempa mukapha akazi koma apa chaonekera kuti akazi wanu sakukondani olakamba kuti akukondani iyo mboza sakukondani chenjerani
ine lekali nisuse molimba mtima ndipo mokwana ususa mau yokamba kuti khululuka 70 times 7 aya mau na yasusa ine napezamo muri small mind 70 times 70 ungakhululuke pa zinthu zina koma noti pa moyo yayi solo mwana kamboti wanzeru no amene amaona soka noipewa opusa amati akaona soka amaipewa basi uona kuti apa palisoka moyo ngataise ati nikhululuke 70 times 70 palibe nzeru paja chifukwa chake ine nasusa imasusa khululuka pabwino koma noti pa moyo ndipo lekani nikukumbuseni mwe wanthu amene simumaziva muziwe kuti chikwati Yehova mulungu wa moyo pamene anachilenga anayika ndondomeko ziwiri zoteseramo chikwati chigololo olo umozi ngati amwalira chikwati chingasile koma pamalamulo ya munthu anaonjezerapo munthu kuti ngati waona kuti moyo wako uli kumpenupenu chifukwa cha chikwati chisiye kuchitira kuti ungakhale opusa wamene amaona soka osaipewa.
On that note, we come to the end of Events of the Week, a program that looks at stories we covered in the week. Thank you for your time. I'm now Michi Sengela Mwanza.
Worried of where you can sell your goods and services? Take heart. Advertise on Roots FM Radio Selling Point. Selling Point offers competitive prices in which you can market. What are you waiting for? Advertise your goods and services now and you will never regret. Call the marketing line on 0977 124063, 0955 124063. Roots FM, your only traditional and cultural radio station.